Hello, hello. All right, guys. How are you? How are you? Hopefully everybody is going to hop on. I'm not that late. I'm excited about that. Thank goodness. I'm always late. So hopefully you guys had a wonderful Sunday, and I'm excited to talk with you guys today. Goodness, it's been a little while. So I'll let people hop on. Hi, Darla. How are you? And we will get started. Today is just the tip of the week. So I'll do that on a Monday or a Sunday. And hopefully you guys like that. So on the tip of the week, I'll do a little bit more Q&A. And then for content night, it's more content. So hopefully you guys are doing well. Make sure you post a 1 below if you're new. That's your first through third time watching me live. Post a 2 below if you're an oldie but goodie. Make sure you guys say hello, okay? And what I want you guys to do is press notifications. I have a lot coming up and a lot planned for you. You don't want to miss this, okay? Tara, hi! How are you, stranger? So if you guys could click notifications so you know when I go live. You don't have to catch me live each time, but I want you guys to know when I go live because I have really good content coming and you don't want to miss this, especially with COVID, especially with all the compensatory services you are going to need for your kids. And let me tell you, all the IEPs that I've been to lately, like I said, I'm always learning something, and you guys got to hear this stuff that I got to say tonight and that I'm going to be telling you, okay? I promise you it's going to be worth your time. So click notifications. If you want, go ahead and start the replay over on the group, all right? I want the group to be able to hear this, and I'm here on the page spoiling y'all right now. So if you're a group member and you're not a part of the group, go join the group. But if you are a group member and you want to start a watch party, go for it, all right? So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Raven Woods, and I'm the CEO and founder of Autism Mama Rocks IEP, and I help parents gain the knowledge and the confidence to become the CEO of their IEP meeting. So that is what I do. I love it. I make myself crazy doing it, but I love it, okay? So today we're going to actually talk about, did you have an IEP meeting? Did it not work out? You had to table it, or it went over the time that they said that they would give you because somehow communication did not work, as far as you have to say, please allow 2 to 3 hours so that you can get everything that you need to get out. And so say the meeting was tabled, or they said, okay, we're going to have to reconvene because we have other meetings, et cetera, and all the stuff that they come up with, right? So then you have to reconvene. All this stuff happened. You may or may not have a scheduled IEP meeting. And now school's kind of ending. And are you having the schools by any chance cancel on you? It's happening all the time. All right. So 3 this past week. All right. And so there's things that you can do to stop that. All right. Not stop that they canceled it, but stop it as in take other measures to make sure that you guys meet. Okay. So hi, Darla. How are you? Oh, welcome. I'm so glad you're part of the group. And then we have Mike. Hello. And Faye. Welcome. So post a 1 below if you are new. Post a 2 below if you're an oldie but goodie. Hi, Raven. I'm a special education advocate from an educational consultant. Very cool. Welcome, Mike. All right. So this has happened to me twice this week, where meetings were scheduled and then the directors of special education are canceling these meetings and saying, oh, our staff are no longer working and we're sorry. So we'll make sure and we'll schedule the meeting for you within 15 days of the start of school. Well, this is a parent, and these are parents that have had these meetings scheduled, had meetings January, February timeframe, even April, and they had to reconvene, but COVID happened. So their meeting was of late, okay? And then the schools are canceling on them. So my suggestion, and here is my tip to you, there's nothing you can do about them canceling on you. You can email them back and cuss them out or whatever it is you want to do. More power to you. But my suggestion is to file for mediation, okay? That doesn't necessarily mean you want to mediate, because at the time you're not really wanting to mediate anything, but it's going to get them back into the game because mediation, due process, FERPA, OCR, all of that is still in play. It doesn't close down on the weekend, sort of. It doesn't close down over the summer, okay? It's still in play. If you ask for your child's records in July, they still have 45 days, okay? If you ask for a FOIA request, they still have to get that to you, okay? If you file for a FERPA complaint in August, they have to take care of it in the time frame that is allotted, okay? OCR, same thing, all right? Due process, mediation, etc. So if they cancel on you, file for mediation. Then guess what? They got to come back to the table anyway. So it's stupid for them to cancel when you actually have that right to say, okay, I want mediation because I need to figure out my child's IEP. All right. And it's really ticking a lot of parents off right now. I don't know if this has happened to you, but I've seen it happen 3 times this week. And it's not cool. It's not okay at all. You know, we're talking parents who, you know, were fighting for their kids in January and then met again in February-ish and still were going at it. The parent asked for another IEP meeting because I always encourage, you know, it's not a one and done. Keep at it. And then if you have to go up the tracks, then that's what you do. I typically, once I start emailing for parents, I always include the director of special education because I feel it's just appropriate to have them in the loop. Whether they answer or not, it's important to have them in the loop. So make sure that your meetings do not get canceled, okay? If they do, immediately file for mediation. Because either way, even though you're filing for mediation, your IEP obviously is put into a stay put status. Not that it isn't anyway. And then you can actually come back to the table and negotiate that IEP. Okay? So you don't actually have to be going at it like this to have mediation. You can actually work the system, so to speak, and take them to mediation just for being jerks for canceling your IEP meeting. Because mediation doesn't go away. Neither does due process. Happens in the middle of the summer. So if they cancel, take the other route. That doesn't mean that at mediation you're coming to a settlement. You don't have to come to a settlement at mediation. Okay? A mediation is basically a third party coming in to babysit the two of you and be a neutral party. The problem I have with mediation, guys, it's not that I think that there shouldn't be a mediator in certain circumstances that actually is not partial to either side. I think that's actually healthy in like counseling purposes. You know what I mean? But for IEP purposes, if adults can't talk and work it out and the other side is not willing to bend and you're not willing to bend and there's this back and forth, then I'm not really sure. And I haven't seen a whole lot of success with mediation because when you have to shut your mouth after you file for mediation, and usually within your settlement, that's what it says. You have to be quiet. You cannot talk about it anymore. All right. So if you settle, you have to be quiet. All right. It's a done deal. Whatever you settled with is what it is. Okay. So when I say file for mediation because they were jerks and they canceled your IEP meeting when you were supposed to meet and said, oh, sorry, everybody's not here anymore. Then what I mean by that is you're not going to mediation to fight out something. You're basically putting that into play to say, no. You're not going to cancel on me just because you want a summer break. You know, I've had this scheduled all this time. I'm the one stressed out because my child's IEP needs to be in order for next year to come. No, I don't want to meet, the first 30 days and then my child goes without, the services that I want them to have. So, and I've been with parents on both ends. I have a parent that's like, no, I want to meet in the first 30 days. That's fine. If they're going to put that in writing, which is what we're doing, is having it put in writing that they're going to meet within the first 30 days. I don't care when it is, as long as it's within the first 30 days. So that's what we're doing. And that parent's fine with that. It gives us time to prepare for that meeting, 2.5 months. And, we're able to be fully ready for the things that she wants, which is totally fine with her. But there's other situations where you don't want to wait, within those 30 days of the start of school because your child needs certain things immediately right now, or there's some other issues going on that you don't want to take the chance. You want it handled right away. Okay. So if they do this to you, and I wanted to give you guys this tip because it's happening. It may not have happened to you, but I wanted you to know that this is happening and it's just not okay. And I don't like it when, as much as I respect teachers and educators, I was a teacher, my daughter's a teacher, and I don't like the games that the school systems play. And that's not necessarily the teachers. That's typically the administration. So I think you guys need to be aware of that's kind of the game that's going on right now. So hopefully most of your IEPs are done, but if they're not, make sure you follow up, make sure you confirm the date and the time, and make sure that you have everything together to cover it, and what you're going to talk about, and your goals together, and your present levels together. If your present level isn't at the baseline and isn't straight and isn't together, then your goals cannot be put in place because you have nothing to start from. Okay? So make sure you guys are good and ready, and make sure you guys are prepared. And if you want a time frame, ask for it. I am requesting 2 to 3 hours, or I would just be very clear and say I'm requesting 3 hours. If we run at 2 hours, awesome, but I'd like 3 hours allotted. Okay? Make sure you say that in advance so it's on record and you have said that. Okay? Another thing that you want to do is you want to make sure, because everything's going on via Zoom, at least right now in most places, you want to make sure that you are specific as to what you expect in that Zoom, okay? So you have to know that Zoom records. So get out your Otter AI app and turn it on, okay? Zoom records, guys. You may not see it, but it records. The other thing that you need to know also is you need to make sure that you want to see their face. Just like at an IEP meeting, you're face-to-face. State in your email before your meeting, I would like everybody to be present. I want everybody to have their face and not be, on silent picture, etc. And that you would appreciate that so that you can all have dialogue and have a conversation and it's open, etc. And if they say, oh, well, we have a couple, teachers that can't do that, et cetera, then say, that's fine. Let's reschedule for a time they can. Okay? So always have an option to what they say. All right? Another issue I've seen lately is because schools are now pretty much closing. I'm working with a lot of clients out in California. And boy, I think I've told y'all, California is a piece of work. So you want to make sure that you're clear in all aspects of what you're wanting. All right. If there are violations that have been done, you need to voice that. Okay. On record. So real quick, I'm seeing people hop on. So post a 1 below if you guys are new. Post a 2 below if you are an oldie but goodie. Make sure you guys click notifications. Say hello. And you'll definitely be catching the replay. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Raven Woods, and I'm the CEO and founder of Autism Mama Rocks IEP. And I help parents gain the knowledge and the confidence to become the CEO of their IEP meeting. So make sure you guys click notifications. If you want to start a watch party, you're more than welcome to. People always ask me, can I do this? Can I do that? Yes, you can. Just go for it. Hi, Tony. How are you? All right, guys. So I actually cannot stay on too long today so if you guys have questions, I'm here. I'll be on for a little bit. It always like zooms because I think I'm too close to the camera. I have an IEP for a client in New York tomorrow. And then I have my own on Wednesday. So yeah. Hi, how are you? All right, so does anybody have any questions? Has anybody run into an issue with these online meetings and issues maybe during your IEP that have come up that kind of struck you as odd? Make sure you post your questions below and let me know what has happened. I'm curious. I don't like that things are kind of being abused, and that's not all right, Things should be just kind of run as best as possible. And, you know, things are already crazy. So making it more crazy is just unfair to us all. So, all right. So, how's everybody doing? How are you, Tara? And again, welcome, Darla. Welcome. And welcome, Faye. All right. So, did you get what I was saying? Make sure, your tip again is to make sure that if for some reason they screw you over and you have to, they say, we're just going to have to see you next year. We're not going to be able to hold IEP because we don't have all the team members here. Then file for mediation. And you're not mediating as in fighting something. You're actually filing mediation to have an IEP meeting to come to an agreement of what you want in your IEP. And unfortunately, you're having to do that so that you can get it into play before school starts. Okay? But that is a way for parents who need things in play now to get that accomplished. Okay? So there is an out from them canceling on you and you feeling like you're stuck and pushed against the wall, because that's the worst feeling in the world. And so for a parent, especially with all of this going on, having things as best in play is good. All right. And don't sign the IEPs that have COVID stuff in it. Okay. Keep your IEPs as they are. Okay. Things are already changed. Hey, Jesse, how are you? Things are already changed. Just leave it. Okay, don't put stipulations in there that says anything COVID or a shorter period of time from March to August or whatever. Don't do that unless your school is having mandatory virtual learning and things are changing a little bit where they're going to offer you mandatory services that because they're going to adhere to your IEP. Don't touch your IEP, guys. Don't touch it unless you're having a meeting to update it, update the goals, update the present levels, etc. for next year. But don't mess with it in regards to tweaking it because of COVID. Okay, does that make sense? You guys are quiet tonight. I'm thinking maybe 7 o'clock is not a good time. Is it not a good time? Should I have done 8 or 8:30? Is that a better time? Let me know. I don't know. You guys got to tell me. So hopefully, your IEPs went off without a hitch. How do you say that? We're doing good. Just getting ready for a busy week. Okay. Good. What are your thoughts on ESY after going through all this craziness? Absolutely. You need to get ESY. And school things are opening. So you should be able to get ESY 100%. I actually had a school system fight a parent, and that's actually what happened is the minute I started fighting, okay, let me just tell you this story, y'all. All right, so I was in an IEP meeting with a family, and she was completely legit on what she was fighting for. We had talked about it. At first, you know, I was navigating what my strategy would be, listening to the team, kind of feeling everybody out. And then I realized, okay, that's the douchebag. That's the person, that is the gaslighter, that is the no man, you know? I was figuring out who was who controlled who, and I realized who the problem was, all right? So I knew I had to go after the problem, right? And everybody else was great, honestly. They would have been great without that person present. So, and of course, this person is the decision maker. So the problem initially started with them capping the meeting at a certain time, and they brought it up in the beginning. That is not allowed, okay? That needs to be shut down immediately, okay? Never should one feel as if they're in a rush from the get-go, from the very beginning, and then they have to get out everything that they've been prepping for. But yet they're put in this position of nervousness, anxiety, because they're being rushed. Not okay. because you're a part of that meeting just as much as they are. That was the first problem. Second problem was things were okay. We negotiated, we talked, and but things weren't getting done. It was more this back and forth. And then finally I had kind of just had it after feeling it out for a minute, and this child needs ESY. All right. And so it was at the end because we had gone over an IEE and talked about some things. And so by the time we got to ESY, we said, well, this child needs ESY because he has not done very well and this, that, and the other. I'm not going to go into it. He needs to have ESY. And I said, in all honesty, he needs compensatory services for next year, but we'll talk about that later. But at this time, he needs to have ESY so that he doesn't get behind. Okay. And immediately, all right, the decision maker says, no, we've already discussed that. No. I said, oh, okay. What have you discussed? Can you explain that to me? Like what transpired in this discussion? And he said, well, he just doesn't qualify. He just doesn't qualify. It's a no. I said, well, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't. So I need you to tell me and show me the data that says that he absolutely doesn't qualify for ESY. And then I said, well, and also I'm curious because how is it that you already talked about this? The last time you met, you were only maybe halfway through the year. How did you talk about this then? Decisions shouldn't be made in regards to ESY until closer to summer. You should always have an IEP every quarter. And if not, you need to have an IEP closer to summer so that you can discuss ESY. And never in your IEP should ESY be checked no. It should be NA until you discuss it at a closer time to the summer to be able to make a logical, educated, smart decision as to if this child needs ESY. You don't know, just like you don't, I don't, the teachers don't, the decision maker doesn't, at the beginning of the year, even halfway through the year if this child needs ESY. How is it that you're going to argue with a parent back months and months ago that this child doesn't need ESY and no, because you want to just say no, but you have no reason to back it up? And right when I was getting started in saying, this is what I was going to say before you shut it down. This is what he said. We got to go. We're sorry. We're going to have to table this meeting. We'll have to talk about this, at our next meeting because it's been 2 hours. I got an appointment to go to. I have a meeting to go to. And then right when he said that, everybody else said, yeah, we have an appointment too. So I said, okay. And then I discussed it with the parent and that's that. So the meeting was going to be rescheduled and then they went and canceled it. The meeting and said, we'll see you next year. No. Because here's the argument with ESY. He didn't want to get into it with me because I was asking for the proof. I was asking for data. I don't give a shit that you said no. You can say no all you want, but that's not going to cut it. It's not. Just because you're a decision maker doesn't mean that your no will suffice. It won't. So in my mind, it's, did you somehow take 8 to 12 weeks off with my child and totally do nothing over the school year? So for maybe, I don't know, December, January, and February, the school did nothing with my child. I'm just talking to you guys here. So if that wasn't done, how the hell is this dude gonna say, nope, he doesn't qualify? Because he hasn't even tried. You haven't taken 3 months from my kid. You don't know if they're going to regress. And if they do, and you say no, boy, I'm going to be on top of you like you would not believe. I am coming after you. So you never, ever allow someone to tell you no based off no data. No data. Zero. None. If there's no data, they cannot say no. They have to say yes and try it out. They have to. Okay? If not, you fight for it. Okay? You do mediation. Don't sign anything. But you do mediation. Threaten due process. File for due process. You meet within 15 days anyway. You'll probably come to an agreement. But don't be afraid to fight for things that your child needs and just accept that no. Okay? Typically, if you push things and you make state complaints and you ride them, they're going to allow your child to try something. If it doesn't work, then you're going to learn that it didn't work. okay? But it has to be at least tried to see if it's going to work. You can't say no to something before even trying it, okay? So if a child can't read or a child can't speak, trying a different avenue that hasn't been tried before is a smart thing to do. So to say no about something that you have no idea will or will not work is not smart. So this person who kept saying no had no reason to say no. Therefore, they couldn't say no. Because if you're going to say no, I need the reason. You're going to have to provide me with a PWN anyway, which they didn't do, which was a state complaint. But if you're going to tell me no, tell me why. You're going to have to put it in that PWN anyway. Fill me in. Show me the data. I want to see it. I want to see that you know for a fact that my child is not going to do better with ESY. And what I mean by better is not improve. They're not supposed to improve in ESY. Hopefully they do, but they're not supposed to, okay? They're supposed to stay where they are and not regress, okay? And that can be in each area that is of importance, meaning education or behavior or whatever, okay? It doesn't have to just be education. So don't accept those no's, okay? Fight for it, all right? That doesn't mean things are automatically gonna be hunky-dory your first go around. You can't expect that. That's unrealistic expectations. Eventually, you will get there. But when you first start working with the IEP team, you gotta get them to understand where you're at, what you're gonna put up with and what you're not. And once you have that kind of boundary and baseline between the two of you, then things start to open up and the negotiation happens. Because they realize, hey, if I don't negotiate with her, she's going to make my life hell. So I might as well negotiate. And then you go back and forth, you know? But if the school knows that if they can say no and then nothing's done, they're going to keep saying no. Okay? All right. So Jennifer says, what are your thoughts on ESY? Okay, so hopefully I answered your question. Faye says, you inspired me to have courage to fight for my daughter's rights and our rights as parents. This Thursday will be our third time to reconvene. We had the school agreed to give my daughter OT, autism specialist, and an FBA. Awesome! We still have a lot to discuss, but so far so good. Thanks for inspiring parents like me. No problem. And see, you are a perfect example, Faye, of the fact that it's not just always a one and done. It eventually gets there. You'll get there, but it's not always a one and done. And that's okay. You know, not everything is just this quick fix. We all want that quick fix, right? But it's not always just this quick fix. You know, it takes time to screw it up. It takes time to put it back together. And so it's one of those things where the sooner it can be put back together, the better. But just know that things are not always a one and done. Okay. And just have faith. You guys can do this. You guys can fight. And I'm here if you need anything. I am still taking a couple more clients for IEP makeovers for June, I think it was like 9th or 10th, June 10th to the end of the month. And then I have a huge due process case to get ready for. So then I'm going to be doing that. But I'll still go live. And when I'm out of town this summer, you guys are coming with me. So you're going to come to Florida with me. Maybe you're going to come to Georgia with me to see my son. He's in the military. So you guys are going to see me in different places going live this summer. Because that's the cool thing about what I do. I can do it anywhere. All right. So you guys are going to see my crazy life in the summer. All right. So we're going to go to Perdido Key, Florida. We're going to go to Pensacola. We may even go to Disney together this summer. And we're going to go to Georgia, Savannah, and Kings Bay, which is where my son is stationed. Raven, it's a pleasure to meet you. Good to meet you too. So I like to meet other advocates. Are you a COPA advocate? All right, so I will talk to you guys soon. Does anybody have any questions? Any questions? And don't forget, if you're hopping on, post a 1 below if you are new. First through third time watching me, post a 2 below if you're an oldie but goodie. You guys better make sure you say hi. And I will talk to you soon, okay? And I will probably be going live definitely Tuesday and definitely Thursday, all right? So just know that. I'm trying to figure out if I want Mondays or if I want Sundays. What do you guys think? Are you guys going to tell me? Would you say 7, 8 o'clock on Sunday or 8 o'clock on Monday? What do you guys say? I'm just going to ask you guys. So post that below if you have a thought or opinion. But yeah, Tuesdays and Thursdays are definite. Okay. All right. So I will talk to you guys soon. Post any questions below and I promise to get back to you. All right. So have a good rest of your Sunday. I don't know if you guys are cooking out. I know it's probably pretty early Central Standard Time and Pacific Standard Time. So you guys have a good night and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.